back to the show. Brexit is fast approaching. I wanted to explain it, but since everything is more entertaining in a British accent, I asked Amy to explain it instead.
And I responded, my accent isn't a party trick, Sam.
See, it really is more entertaining.
A brief history of Brexit for Americans. This is Europe. You may remember us from World War II. After that shit show, a bunch of us thought, what if we tried working together and formed the European Union? The UK joined, new industries were created and everyone traded freely. Brits moved to Europe, Europeans moved here for some reason. Ireland and Northern Ireland had an open border, so they finally stopped kneecapping each other, and most importantly, we all had crazy fast passport lines. But there was a small group of, yes, conservatives who didn't like being on a team, and they wanted to Brexit because they missed when Britain was a empire that didn't have to listen to anyone.
We believe in taking the argument to the people, and we can win.
The Prime Minister didn't want to Brexit, but he wanted their support in Parliament, so he agreed to put their idea to a national vote, figuring they'd just lose and then he'd have more power. So he reduced this incredibly complex question down to an 11-word survey that looks more like an RSVP for a wedding. And with that, everyone split into two camps. The Leave campaign told lies on the side of a bus and blamed immigrants on the side of a truck. And of course, red hats. And the Remain campaign figured they were fine and basically took a very long nap. And, you guessed it, Brexit won. But, small issue, no one actually knows what Brexit means because no one actually expected it to win. And now this guy has to figure out what happens to all of the trade and industries and people and borders and the tens of billions of dollars we now owe the EU. But don't worry.
Brits don't quit.
And then he quit. And the Leave campaign never really planned to win, so they were absolutely thrilled.
Yesterday, I believe the British people have spoken up, and I think we can be very proud of the result.
They're terrified. So their party had a meeting and picked a new lady leader.
We will build a better Britain.
Sure you will. All you have to do is unite Britain and negotiate a favourable deal with the EU who want to punish you for voting to leave. But don't worry, this is the woman who knows the meaning of Brexit.
Brexit means Brexit, and we're going to make a success of it.
And no one knows what that means either, or even how to say it.
We will make Brexit.
But May doesn't care. She's busy having the time of her life, promising Brexit will be easy, even though she has no idea how to fix all this stuff. And rather than figure it out first, she decides to pass a law that triggers the Brexit countdown clock. Which means May has to figure everything out by March 2019. And if she doesn't, we'll crash out of the EU with no deal at all, which is very bad. So the EU stops by for tea and says, maybe let's start figuring out what the hell you just did. But May's like, not now, thanks, love. Because this cheeky minx has got a better idea. She only has a slight majority in Parliament, and her left-wing opposition leader is literally polling behind I don't know. So she could call a snap election.
I'm not going to be calling a snap election.
But then she does, because she wants to consolidate more power. But turns out, candidate May is terrible at campaigning.
How do you unwind?
I like walking. I spend quite a lot of time looking at cookbooks, and I quite like watching NCIS when I can.
Please clap. And since Corbyn figures he won't win, he just promises everyone everything for free. Then suddenly, half the country goes crazy for some guy dressed like a dad on a Jamaican holiday. The momentum grows, and his party does not win. But they wiped out May's majority, so now no one is in charge and she has less power. Ring, ring, who's on the phone? Oh yeah, the EU. May just wasted months losing whatever power she had. So she finally heads to Europe to convince them to let us Brexit but still keep all of the good stuff even though they absolutely hate us. But May gets stuck on key issues like how to use a binder and how to get out of a car. Hello, I'm still in the car. Who does the door? You pull. Oh no, I'm pulling. Okay, you pull. Okay. Hello, Angela. Back home, her message isn't sticking, and the public has no idea what's going on.
What do you think about Brexit?
What's that? Like,
Where we're leaving the European Union.
does that mean we won't have any trees?
Trees? Oh. No, that's got nothing to do with it, babe.
Actually, babe, trees are the one thing that aren't fucked. But if May misses her deadline, it could cripple industry and imports of food and medicine and reignite violence in Ireland and strand Brits living abroad and spark a global recession, which, yes, would affect you guys and most importantly, the passport lines.
So it'd be harder to go on holidays?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I love my holidays.
Yeah.
Apparently, so does May, because she just keeps going back to Europe. Then, in November, she and the EU finally agreed to the meaning of Brexit in a 585-page document. But bloody hell, she's done it! Cue happy dance! Whoa, no, not that one. No, not that one either. Okay, that's it. She proudly boogies her way into Parliament to get the final approval for her deal.
It is a draft treaty that means that we will leave the EU in a smooth and orderly way on the 29th of March 2019.
Yeah, they don't love it.
The ayes to the right, 202. The noes to the left, 432.
They vote it down in the largest defeat in the history of Parliament. And now she has even less power. Basically, Remainers think her deal is too harsh and Leavers think it's too soft, which might sound like a good compromise, but remember, everyone's an arsehole, so here we are. Wait, could they just decide to not Brexit? Because, like...
Half the nation did not vote for Brexit.
Well, yes, but that would undermine the very uninformed will of 52% of the people, who are scary. And they could hold a second referendum, but May would have to delay her clock. And what would that mean?
Any delay is a delay.
Holy shit, woman. And then this boob wakes up from his nap and is like, guys, why don't we just have a second referendum? 2.5 years too late. So now what happens? Next week, May will hold another vote, which means it's Parliament's choose your own adventure. Go ahead, pick. Oops, out of time.
Breakfast.
Thank you, Amy. We'll be right back.